Aston Villa 2, Leeds 3. Dan, talk to me.
We've done like two things that stereotypically bad sides do, in the fact that we've blown a 2-goal. I'm not saying we're a bad side, by the way. We've blown a 2-goal lead, and then when it's 2-2, you just make sure, like we said last week with the Stoke game, you make sure you don't lose.
Yeah.
And we've ended up conceding a 95th minute avoidable goal, and that's, as we all said on fan cams, that's the annoying thing. The goals feel avoidable, all three of them today. I don't like conceding for set pieces. I always think that's cheap. And the first one, I didn't really feel like lessons were learnt from last week with letting the winger cut inside.
Yeah.
And we conceded a penalty from that last week, and this week we conceded a goal. It's just, I was worried before the game, because obviously we find out Twanzabe's injured and going to be out for a little bit, I think, so that's a problem. Actually didn't think the centre-backs acquitted themselves badly. Leeds aren't really a long ball side, so in some ways it's suited.
Well, they went long a few times, but I didn't really think they passed around at the centre in the centre-back split and then just hoofed it long, and that didn't really bother us. And in that first sort of 20-25 minutes, I've already said to you, but I didn't feel that concerned about what I was seeing from Leeds.
I get what you're saying, because obviously I think we were clinical. First 20 minutes, we pretty much had two chances, and we took them. And two nice goals. There was elements of of play in those goals that I really liked. The through ball to Connor. The through ball from Connor. McGinn's made a lovely run. Yeah. Timing of the run's great. Great to see midfielders getting in the box, and it would have been a penalty had Tammy knocked it in. The second one, Codger's done brilliantly. I think Whelan's done well with a quick free kick just before that as well. We've moved the ball along nicely, and it's a good finish from Connor. Great stuff. You 2-0 up. I always felt like Leeds would grow into the game. I think straight away I thought the opposite of you. I looked at them and thought, these guys are serious, because I just thought the movement of their attacking players was unbelievable. A player would move from a position and there'd be another player darting into that space straight away, and I think that caused us problems all day. I think in the first half we defended very narrow. I think the fullbacks were told not to come out and press, to keep it tight in the middle of the park, and I think that worked in the first half in the main, and we dealt with things well. The Leeds chances really came from range. Yeah. Second half, the overloads just killed us. Yeah. It then being narrow didn't work, and they were just ganging up on our fullbacks basically. I think they've spotted a weakness. There's people playing out of position, and I'm not going to knock anyone for doing a job out of position, because it's not comfortable for people naturally. But we were just easy targets down the flanks, and it will cause problems every time. And that was at the point I was surprised we didn't see a Doma on the pitch, because he's on the bench. Okay, he's not played for a couple of games. He's very good defensively, and he's better than the other wingers defensively, so I was surprised we didn't see him on. But it is what it is. I didn't think the subs worked today. I thought last week bringing Codger on worked well, and we'll have weeks where things go great and things go badly. I just didn't think the subs worked today at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stand here and deny that Leeds are a good side. They're top of the Championship. They just beat us here last minute. They're a very good side, but I mean, after that first 20 minutes though, it was almost like we didn't do anything after that really either. We had a decent first opening 20 minutes, and after that it was a bit, we cancelled each other out a bit. Second half, like you say, the overload comes, and it feels like we're playing with 10 men a few times. Like, I'm not saying that as if that player wasn't performing, but they seem to have 2 men there all the time, and it's 2 against 1 up against the fullbacks almost every time. And when you got a right-sided player playing on the left and a right back at centre half and all that sort of stuff, you're asking for trouble, aren't you? Yeah,
and it's the previous manager that's left us in that position. And as I've said, I usually look back and say Steve Bruce did some good for Villa. I don't think you can deny that. But the way he's left us is unforgivable.
For a defensive manager,
what he was thinking with the defence, and again, I'm reluctant to have a pop at people playing in defence, because I imagine it's tough out there down to the bare bones. But to be left as we were, you knew straight away an injury to a centre back is always going to be a massive problem. And today, Twanzabe's been really good since Smith came in. Yeah. He's a massive miss on the ball as well, because he brings the ball out of the defence, and I didn't feel Bree really took that. I think Bree didn't do anything wrong, but I'd expect him as a fullback. I think I'd have thought he would be a bit more comfortable on the ball. He didn't really come out and start the attacks. I think we lacked a bit of organisation as the second half went on. I think when Whelan came off, I think it was an obvious substitution, in the sense of we were getting overrun, so you bring someone who's perhaps got less legs, like Whelan, off for Bjarnason, who you would think, even though he's been injured, he's a fit player, isn't he? He gets round the pitch, but I just think we missed Whelan's organisation. I think he was having a good game,
I did.
And he comes off the pitch, and I felt we looked a bit all at sea after that point. Smith will come out, and I imagine he'll slam us for the goals we conceded. it does feel we're conceding a lot of goals, and it does feel like a lot of them are avoidable. If someone comes in and scores a good goal against you, okay.
Yeah.
I think Leeds might look at the 2 goals they conceded and perhaps say, okay, Villa have done well there, 2 good goals. I look at their goals and all 3 of them disappoint me. I don't like conceding from a set piece, and I just think there's a real lack of awareness in that for that 3rd goal. And like someone said in fan cams, it becomes a bit panic stations at the back naturally at the moment, and that's what we need to change. People saying January this, January that, but there's a lot of games over Christmas.
4 more games before we can bring anyone in yet.
That's a massive amount of games that can cost you. I mean, we're down to 10th, 11th now, wherever we are. You don't win for a few weeks, which we haven't, because obviously we've had 2 draws to this. You fall down, but then I look at the fixtures and I think, can we win every game there? Yeah, I think we probably can. And then you are back up again. So I know we say it, the league's a joke.
Talk about those changes a little bit. Obviously, you've already mentioned the Bjarnason and Wheeler one. I agree. I felt like it made sense, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then likewise with Balassi for Hogan, Balassi for Doma is probably the right choice there, because you've moved Tammy to the left, and again it's another player not in the natural position. It just frustration.
I guess it comes down to last week we were praising him for still throwing the striker on even though we equalised. I guess he's trying to win the game. I'm not going to knock Smith. I can say the subs didn't work, but I don't look at them and necessarily any of them and think it's a wild substitution to be making. It's just on the day the subs didn't work. Last week we brought Codger on and it helped tip the game back in our favour, I thought. But I thought Codger was causing them, especially first half, Codger was causing them a lot of problems. I was surprised to see him come off for El Ghazi, and again a few weeks ago El Ghazi was terrorising people, so it's just, and I didn't think he had a good game when he came on again today. I didn't think anything really came off for him, so it's difficult, but we're going to see some rotation in the coming weeks, because as we spoke, just the sheer volume of games, he'll be wanting to chop and change and keep it fresh, I would guess.
Well, how do we fix the defence though? Because the 4 players that play today are pretty much the only fit defenders we've got, so we just have to stick with it.
Part of me thinks about chucking a kid Revan in. I just think he's a young centre-back, that's his position. If he's not playing now, when do these players get a chance?
Are they ready? Is he good enough?
I would look at it and say, how much worse can it make the defence? But there's the off chance. I mean, Dean Smith will know better than me.
Maybe it will.
He's seen more of Dominic Revan than I have. So if he thought he was ready, he'd be picking him. But surely if you're ready to be on the bench, if you're on the bench, there's a chance you're going to be used.
Yeah.
Is it that much difference being used for the? I know obviously you'll be starting a game, but I can't see it making it worse. If that makes sense, I don't see how playing someone in their actual position is going to make it worse. I didn't think Bree did a lot wrong today, but it's just not his position. Elmo's had 2 tough weeks now. He looks low on confidence. So would you think about putting Bree at right back and bringing in Revan? I don't know. I don't have the answers. Yeah. It's down to the last manager, as we've said. It's down to the way he left us. Smith will have walked in, and I think one of his first interviews he had with Villa, he said we're obviously short at centre back numbers wise. He's been kind in front of the camera, but I'm sure off camera he'll be raging, thinking how can a football manager leave you in a position like this? I don't want to keep dragging up Bruce, but when his son's on Twitter giving it the big one yesterday, I think come and look at the state of that defence today and try and defend your dad, because I don't think you can defend that, as you say. For someone who was a defender to have left us that short at the back, it's criminal.
I'm not going to suggest that Mitch Clark would be the answer to all of our problems, but would he not be a better option at even left back? And then Hutter moves to right back, and Elmo doesn't make the mistakes he's made today. Bree maybe plays to right back, Hutter could play centre back. You've got these different options of players that can play in these different positions, but it just never seems to work, does it? So you do sit there and think, what's the point then?
But I don't think Smith wants to do that. I don't think he wants to play players out, but he doesn't have any other option unless he sticks a kid in, and I'm presuming he doesn't think Revan, etc. are ready. Mitch Clark's an interesting one. I think I said it in a podcast with Hutton. We played a pretty defensive brand of football last season. It wasn't expansive, so you could almost get away with Hutton at left back. He didn't look as uncomfortable there because he wasn't having to come forward as much. We were never as stretched because one, we weren't coming forward as much, but we wouldn't get hit on the counter too much, would we? No. Last season. Now we're an attacking side, so and a team like Leeds, they're a good counter-attacking side. They've got good, clever, nimble players, and we're struggling. And he's struggling out there at left back. Put him back at right back, you won't have those problems because players know they can go on the outside because they know he's more comfortable if they're cutting in. So the winger tends to get on the outside. Although today actually, both Leeds wingers did did cut in, so he should be more comfortable with that. But I'm not going to have a pop at Hutton. I'm not going to have a pop at anyone. It's a real bad day to blow a 2-goal lead and concede a winner in the 95th minute. It's as bad as it comes, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I might have said this to you privately. I felt that last week's game against Stoke was probably Smith's worst game so far. And today, I'm not saying today was a bad game, but again, it's another game that goes by where you're 2-0 up at home. I don't care who you're playing, you should win. That's my opinion.
I agree with you, but I sat there at half time thinking we need a third because Leeds will score.
Yeah. And at 2-1, I was like, we'll probably blow it now.
And that's the problem at the moment. You know other teams are going to score 2-3 goals against you, and so we've got to be very, very good, creating a lot of chances and scoring a lot of goals. And today, after the first 20 minutes, we didn't create much. We had, when it was 2-2, I think we had one that came in from a corner and the keeper's made a decent save for Leeds as it hit someone and went towards him. But other than that, the Balassi have one. I'm trying to remember. Connor had a shot that was a good block, and then it came to Balassi and he could have perhaps made something happen, and he chipped it into the whole end, which was a bizarre decision. I do just want to do a bit of a shout out for Balassi's skill on a wing. Unbelievable skill, one of the best pieces of skill I've ever seen at Villa Park. The way he took it to the corner and then just went down the middle of them, absolutely brilliant. But I don't really care about showboating.
The ball he put in after that was poor.
And I don't care for showboating when we've just lost 3-2. I don't really want to pick up on it, but I did think it was an unbelievable piece of skill.
There won't be any dedicated Swansea match preview because it's Christmas and I would like a day off, so consider this the Swansea match preview as well. Talk to me about Swansea a little bit. Drew yesterday as we were recording. Decent team.
I'd expect us to go there and win on a good day, because we've gone to Middlesbrough and won 3-0, we've gone to Derby and 3-0, we've gone to West Brom, who are one of the best teams in the league, should have won that game if it wasn't for cheating. So I expect us to go there and win, if I'm being honest. They drew 1-1 yesterday. Wilfred Bonny had risen from the dead and scored his first goal for about 17 years, didn't he? That's typical, just as we're about to come on the horizon. We beat them down here not that long ago. I don't remember being massively impressed by them. I think Graham Potter's got a tough job there, really, because they're going to be minimum spend. He's going to be expected to work miracles. And they're doing okay, aren't they? Yeah. I couldn't tell you where they are in the league, but they're doing okay. But it's a game I see as a very winnable game. I still think every game under Smith is winnable, just because of the way we'll play. It's just the defence. But Swansea aren't as good as Leeds. I think a lot of people, when they look back at this game, will realise how good Leeds are. They'll beat many teams. I know a few Blues went there and won, didn't they? At Ellen Road. But every team has a bad day. Yeah. Every team has good days. I think Leeds had a very good day today. I thought they were unplayable at times. I thought the movement was phenomenal, as I've said. Swansea won't be as good as Leeds. Yeah. I think we'll perhaps be better than we were today. So, as I say, I think it's a winnable game. I think at the moment being away suits us more. I've said that in a couple of podcasts, a couple of match previews, reviews. I think being away will suit us more.
Team-wise, obviously, impossible to go into too much depth because we've, as you can clearly see, we've just played Leeds, so we don't know any sort of assessment of how the players are. But if the same sort of injuries that we know about now are the same, no one today has picked up an injury, say, what are we doing the games in 3 days?
As I say, the only thing I think you can do is play Revan, and I'm not sure he'll do that. So for anyone any one of the fullbacks that's in the team, to be honest, be tempted to just take Elmo out the firing line.
Yeah, that's right.
If I'm being honest, I actually thought first half Elmo was decent, but someone said in fan cams his usual weapon is how good he is coming forward, and we didn't see much of that. And then he's made a mistake. That mistake, I don't like to hammer. I'm not hammering him, as I said, but that mistake has cost us a point today. It's a bad error. He should never head it back into the danger area. So I'd be tempted to take him out the firing line, but I don't know whether Revan's ready, so it's difficult. Will Taylor be back?
What's happening with Taylor? Do we know how long? I know he's injured, but have we been given a time frame?
So it was a couple of weeks, I believe. So there's a chance he'll be back against his old team on Boxing Day. He's a miss, and we miss Grealish, like I've said. But Taylor's a better player than people give him credit for, and he's left-footed, playing at left back in his position. He's a miss. Like we say again, we're short. Yeah. We've been left with one left back and two centre backs, and at the time it felt like 100 right backs. Like it's not good management from Steve Bruce what he's done there. Yeah. And Dean Smith will rectify it in January, and I think that's when you start to judge him. But as another thing, Leeds are a lot further ahead in their development under their new manager, who's obviously got a set way of playing, a set philosophy, and they were very good. we're early days under Smith still. There's going to be games that we lose. We've lost to a very good team today, so I think we could go to Swansea and win. We've won a lot of games under Smith. We've played some really nice stuff under Smith, but he hasn't had great time like Bielsa has, so things will change for us.
Talk about the automatic promotion race, playoff contention, all that sort of stuff. A few people are saying about like automatic's already over, and it's hard for me to say that in December because you could
a lot of games.
You could win 10 games. I'm not saying this is going to happen. You could win 10 games in a row, 30 out of 30, and then you're well up there. So to say automatics or even playoffs are over at this point feels stupid because
playoffs are definitely not over. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's too early to say.
Yeah,
it's too early to say anything like that.
There is a lot of games left. A hell of a lot of games.
We've played everyone once now.
Yeah.
With Swansea, with the first team, we've played for the second time, and we only played those 7 or 8 games ago.
Yeah.
It was Smith's first game, wasn't it, here? So it's not that long ago. You've got to go and play everyone again. We've got to play all the big teams. We've played them away.
Yeah.
Granted, we've actually beat most of them away, but they've still got to come to Villa Park, our home, where we always back ourselves. To write the season off in December, it's silly in my opinion. You
can't write off. There's plenty of games. You've just said how many games there is left. There's a lot of games to be played. I felt like today was quite pivotal in the fact of if we'd beat Leeds and we're 2-0 up, you're thinking, 9 points off top spot there, great stuff. And now you look at it and think 15 points off top spot. That is a lot.
But it's catching first place the aim though, because what's the gap to second place?
I haven't got a clue, but you
the same prize.
You just want to come second. You just want to go up automatically, and if you can't do that, you take the playoffs. And I think we'd have. I know we got to the final last year. I think we'd have a better go at the playoffs this year. There's no one in the league that I look at and think, I really wouldn't want to play them.
Off from Leeds.
Even I just think when we're fully fit, when we've got everyone, when we've done a bit more business, I think we're capable of matching them. We went 2-0 up against them today with what is a shadow squad in some respects. Yeah. So that the ability's there. We've got some very, very good footballers as of that. I just think they're further ahead in what they're doing. I think and they made less mistakes than we did. Yeah. That's why we've lost the game.
We know we've got a good team, especially for this level, and we've got a lot of good players. And we say that the talent is too good for the Championship, and we go through all these little things that we say. But we're not as if we've got as good a team as we say, we should be first or second, and we're a few points off even playoffs. So are we as good as a team as we think, or do we just look at Abraham, Balassi, Horahan, McGinn and go, they're good players, but are we good enough as a unit yet to be able to say Aston Villa are a good Championship team? Because if we were, surely people would be looking at, we need to catch Villa, and we're always playing catch up. We have been the whole time we've been in the Championship.
I get that, but I think you look at the change since Smith's come, the change in the culture, the change in the way we're playing games, the way we're setting ourselves up. It's night and day. The start we had was rank. Absolutely rank, and that's nothing to do with Dean Smith. That's to do with Steve Bruce, and the players weren't playing for him. At the start of the season, we were dropping silly points. We were looking awful. So I think had Dean Smith been there at the start, I do genuinely think we'd be up there. I'm not saying we'd be running away with the league on the same points as Leeds or anything like that. I think we'd be in the top 6 comfortably. We wouldn't be looking down. We'd be looking alpha, right, with 3-4 points off the top here. We can go on a run and go up. I think that start is a killer. We've probably drawn more games than anyone in the top half. Without looking at the league table, I predict we've probably I'd predict we'd draw more than anyone else in that top half. Because before today, I think we'd lost the same amount as someone that was. I think we'd lost the same amount as West Brom. It was someone in the top 6. We'd lost the same amount of games, but it's those draws, and that's been a downfall ever since we've been in this league. Really, draws.
I'm playing devil's advocate here because I know that what we're seeing now is infinitely better than what was under Steve Bruce. But if Steve Bruce just got 5 or 6 points more,
and he should have done,
and he easily should have done, we'd be within touching distance now, or in the playoffs. I don't know how far we are away now, 5 points or whatever it is. But then if Steve Bruce got 6 more points, maybe he'd still be here.
And now you look at, as I say, what Tom said it a lot as well. What we're watching here is, I didn't realise how bad we'd got into or like how in a way how my standards had lowered to what I was watching, thinking that was acceptable, because it's not. And what we're watching now is infinitely better. And long term, there's a structure there now. I think even everything behind the scenes with Villa as well. I just think, as I talk about culture and stuff, I think it's a different place now. You look at the Christmas party, for example, the kids' Christmas party. I think it's something that's not really been discussed that much, but I think it's a good sign. usually you get a couple of players go to the kids' Christmas party, and it won't even necessarily be anyone who's in and around the first team. It'll be 2 players get signed up to go. Yeah. They go. Dean Smith. What's going on here? It's like back in New York. Dean Smith makes the whole squad go. Yeah. Dean Smith goes. The whole coaching staff go. So that's when I talk about culture. That's what I mean. He's creating something here at Villa now. Leeds are creating something, but they're way ahead of us because they've had the whole summer. They've had a good start. The manager's been there throughout the whole season. We're picking up the pieces and trying to build something from something that was broken. Plus, not even talking about the end to last season and not going up. We'll be top 6. I'm confident we'll be top 6. And once you get in the top 6, you got a chance, haven't you?
Do you think top 2 is possible still though?
I'm not saying it's not possible. I don't think we'll get there. I just don't think we'll get there. I think Leeds. I just think Leeds and West Brom will get top 2. That's what I think will happen. I think Norwich will fall away, although they've got lovely Naka scoring in the last minute at the moment. But I do think they'll fall away. Norwich. And that probably suits them for people to be writing them off, to be fair. I just think Leeds are further ahead of us. I think they're going to get better as the season goes on. So I think I discount us as being able to catch them. And I just think at the moment, if you're saying there's 4 games over Christmas, we could very well not win any of them.
Yeah, and what happens then? How do you assess the season so far? If we say get 4 points from this next 4 games, that's not good enough either. And then what we need to start asking questions about what is actually happening now, because we should be winning these games. And today, as I said before, 2-0 up, I feel like you should win. Yeah, you go ahead against Stoke and whoever else, Albion. You got to be seeing games out, because draws and obviously losing. Obviously losing gets you nowhere, but drawing games, winning positions, you just don't make enough up enough ground. And you see teams like you say Norwich coming out, 86th minute goal, 88th minute goal. It's just they're grinding it out, and we're not able to do that for whatever reason. Yeah.
Then I look at last week, we're 2-1 down, 86th minute. Codger scores. We've put a good point back. We've shown some good mentality. We've shown when we're down, we can get back into a game. But there's been a few games now. This one we've lost in the 95th. Forest was a late goal, wasn't it? I mean, that game was a joke anyway, but that was a late goal. So I still don't think it's down to people being better than us, in particular in general. Although I'm saying Leeds are very good today, we're making mistakes. Yeah. Goals we concede are avoidable, and we'll get better. So it's a long season.
Points total for this next 4 games, just quickly off the top of your head. What's acceptable, and what you'd like?
I'd like up to that. I think we can win every game. I think we're capable of it just because of the weaponry we have in attack.
It's 3 games, isn't it? Not 4. 3. It's 4 games until we can start our new players. We've got
3 games over Christmas.
QPR, Swansea and Preston. 2 away, 1 at home.
So 6 points is 6 points. I'll be looking for at least.
And that's an acceptable target. 6 out of 9.
I think so. That's what you got to be looking for. Because I think although we've had a few draws recently, we try and win games, don't we? Yeah. We try and win them. I think we'll go to Swansea and we'll win on Boxing Day. Preston, I'm not sure about Preston, and because I think the turnaround in between games, I think at the moment with injuries and stuff, it might be a tough game, tough ask that at Preston. Although they've not been great this season. So actually maybe 6 points, draw there. What did I say? I've confused myself. Sorry, 7 points, draw there.
Beat QPR.
I'd expect us to beat QPR at home. Although they're ahead of us at the moment, so that's not an easy game. I just think there'll be drop somewhere. It won't be 9 points. There'll be drop points somewhere.
And we look at other teams and we're standing here, not complaining, but sort of ruining missed chances. Yeah. Other clubs will do exactly the same. There'll be games that Norwich lose, Leeds lose, Middlesbrough lose. Yeah. So everyone will lose games. We'll win games. The gap will not be what it is for the whole season. I would like to think we will close the gap, and hopefully we'll be able to get into a position where we're in the playoffs by some margin as well, so there's a gap between us and dropping out. To stand here and say that automatics are done, promotion's done, I'm going home is silly.
Yeah, tough day today. There's obviously going to be a negative feeling coming out of the ground because of the manner in which we lost the game. But overall, since Dean Smith's come in, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. Really, really happy. And this is what we asked for, as I've said before. Yeah. This is what we asked for. We want a manager with a set philosophy, a plan, someone that understood the club and the fans, and we've got that. And no one can deny that we've made strides. Yeah. We have made giant strides, bigger strides than I thought we would at this point. Okay, the results haven't always been there, but we are come off the back of a run of unbeaten unbeaten games until today. So,
and a run where people would have looked at and gone, lost that. I think James said lose, get battered there. We won't get anything there, point there, and we've done well there.
Exactly. Today's a tough one to take. It's the manner in which you've done it's not great. 2-goal lead, 95th minute winner, but the signs are good.
Yeah.
I go into the new year happy and confident. Not confident. What the word is. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that I think we'll get top 6. I think top 2 might be a tough ask. I'm not saying it's impossible. Tough ask. Top 6. No way is that out of the question.
Yeah. Good chat.
Yeah. Happy Christmas.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm sure you'll join me in wishing a Merry Christmas to everyone who's watching. This will go up possibly tonight, maybe Christmas Eve. So, what's on your Christmas list, Dan? 3 points for Villa. That's the classic answer.
Obviously, yeah, 3 points for Villa. The standard answer. Got a couple of old Villa shirts coming actually, as well. Which I might wear one of them for the podcast that we're recording on the 27th. Little plug for that. Just I'm more looking into in the new year. I want it to be a good year for Villa, good year for the Villa View. That's what my hopes are.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that usual stuff, and Merry Christmas. Up the Villa.
Happy Christmas. Up the Villa.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.